Most assuredly I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs up some other way, the same is the thief and a robber. But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. So the door and the shepherd is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. To him the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hears his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out.
Mm-hmm.
And when he brings out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him,
Mm-hmm.
for they know his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they will by no means follow a stranger, but will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers.
Mm-hmm.
My friends, you are, I'm speaking to those that believe in Christ right now. You are hereby instructed by the scriptures of the Lord
Mm-hmm.
to quit saying, I can't hear the voice of my shepherd Jesus.
Because one of two things is true. One, you're not a sheep. The other part of that is that as a shepherd, he has given us his book. And in his book, he said, if you read this, you'll recognize who you are. You'll recognize who I am. So you may be a sheep, but you don't read his instructions. His instructions tell you who he is, tells you what he's about, all those things. So as a shepherd, he is doing his job. As a sheep, understanding his word, so you recognize his voice. That's our part. So either you're not a shepherd, you're not a sheep, or you're not reading his book. That's his voice. That's his voice to us. So if you want to recognize his voice and be able to answer appropriately, get into his book. Remember, we talked about this? It ain't about reading chapters and chapters and chapters. It's about meditating on a little bit. And then it gets easier, and then it makes more sense. And then when he starts calling you, you be saying, yes, Lord, I hear your voice. Yes, Lord, I hear your voice. Get up in the morning, look in the mirror and says, I'm a sheep of the Lord and I hear his voice. See, now you're in agreement with God. That's what we want.
That's some powerful stuff right there, because these scriptures assume that since we are sheep, we can hear the voice of the shepherd.